So welcome to We Thrive, you guys. Thank you for coming. For those of you on Facebook, this is a group of women, and obviously if it's on Facebook, men can listen, but if you actually want to come, you have to be a girl. We are at Cafe Olay on Milwaukee Street. We meet here every Wednesday from 4:30 to 6:30. What you guys get on my page is actually the teaching part of it, and then we also have some social part of it. We have killer giveaways. We also have somebody telling their story about their transformation and how they applied some of the things that we teach here that created success in their life. We don't put that publicly, we put that just on a private page. If you would like to be in that page, just by the fact that you're watching here, you can apply to be on that page, and then as long as you're a girl, if you're a boy, we actually have had some requests from boys, and sorry boys, you're not welcome in that group because that's for just us girls. Not that we're sexist, but we kind of are because we just want to be with girls. All right, so today, you guys, I got a request last week for this, and then we didn't do it because we got caught up in something else that was really cool, and it was perfect, and that's what we were supposed to teach last week. So I want to talk about the process of growth. How do we grow? How do we know we're growing? What does that look like? Because so often throughout this life, we go through these hills and valleys, and we think there's something wrong with us, right? We think, why am I not always happy? How come I'm frustrated? How come something that I thought that I overcame, I'm back in that same place again, right? So we're gonna talk about what this looks like and why it's so amazing, okay? So there's 4 different consciousnesses, if you will, for this process of growth, okay? So there's unconscious incompetence. It means you don't know what you don't know. Then there's conscious incompetence, which means now you're aware that there's something you don't know. Then there's conscious competence, which means I'm still making an effort to make this new thing a habit. And then there's unconscious competence, okay? Unconscious competence, which means it's now become a habit and I don't even have to think about it, okay? So here's what happens in life a lot of times, especially when we are actively growing ourselves, especially when we're coming to groups like this and we're trying to shift our mindsets, and we want to be more successful, and we haven't been successful in the past, so we're learning all of these new ideas and these ways to think differently, right? And so we get all filled with all this amazing information, and we're so excited, and we're tootling along, and then all of a sudden something bumps into us, and what spills out is, I'm never gonna get there. How come I'm doubting? I thought I had gotten over this hurdle. Why am I back where I started? Okay, so we're gonna talk about this transition specifically today because this is the biggest one. Because once we know and once we're working on it, once it becomes unconscious, all of that is really cool. The hardest part of growth is this transition from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence, okay? So we're gonna regress back just a little bit. Sorry, just getting some water. And I wanna talk to you guys. What part of me creates, if we're talking about the law of attraction, what part of me attracts what I am wanting? Let me rephrase that. What part of me is the universe attracting to me? What I believe subconsciously. Did you guys get that? So if I think a thought a bazillion times, will it necessarily manifest?
No.
Not necessarily. Guess why? Because I can think all kinds of things with my conscious mind, but it's my subconscious mind that's actually attracting things. Do you guys get the difference? Groovy, right? Now, just by the fact that it's called subconscious, where is it?
Below.
Below your awareness, below your consciousness, it's underneath something. right? Means we're not aware of it. We're unconsciously incompetent. We don't even know what we don't know. So we're getting these new ideas and we're thinking, law of attraction, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to do these things so I can attract wealth into my life. And we're tootling along and somebody bumps into us and the doubt and the fear and everything else comes out. And what do we instantly do? Typically, we find wrongness with that, right? What's wrong with me? I thought I understood this. How come I'm back where I started, right? But what if, what just bumped into you was your greatest gift? Because, track with me here, if my subconscious that I don't know what's going on in it is what's attracting what's out here, and I think I believe something, but I don't know that I really believe it or not, I don't know it until it shows up. Am I not grateful when somebody bumps into me and my subconscious becomes now conscious? And now I can say to myself, oh my gosh, I still doubt. That's so cool. So do you see how it goes from finding the wrongness of what's wrong with me to I'm so excited that I'm aware of what's in my subconscious now, knowing that that's what's actually attracting my world. Is that so cool?
Yes.
Do you see how now it can become the greatest thing when you're tootling along and you get bumped and you see those things come up? Because now that you're aware, you can go, okay, that's so cool that that was a past pattern. That's so cool that I don't want that anymore. That's so cool that I can actually release that. That's so great that I'm now aware, because now I can take steps to shift that. But if I don't know about it, can I take steps to shift it? No, because I'm not even aware of what I need to be shifting, right? So how cool is this, you guys? Is this cool when people bump into you and all this junk comes out? So can we start finding rightness with the process instead of wrongness with ourselves? Pretty juicy, right? It's so good. So now we're out of the unconscious incompetence, right? We got bumped. Now we're in conscious incompetence. So now what do? Right? We start to pay attention to that doubt. And we start to counter that doubt with whatever the truth is for you. Right? Maybe the truth is, I am successful. Maybe you have to actually look back on your life and find all the places that you were successful to have some proof that you can be successful, right? Because I guarantee you, every single one of us can find success in our past. Every single one of us. Did you graduate from kindergarten? Woo! Success!
You never went to kindergarten.
Yes! You skipped kindergarten. Yeah! Huge success. Did you pass first grade? Yes! Right? Maybe it's something like I kept a job for more than 6 months. Great! Maybe it's I've been married for 2 years. Great! Like, I guarantee you there is success in your past if you look for it. So there's a spiritual principle that goes like this: seek and you'll find, ask and it's given.
I've been a mom for 40 years and the kids are still alive.
Woo! For those of you on Facebook who didn't hear that, she said, I've been a mom for 40 years and the kids are still alive, right? Let's celebrate that. I have one gal who told me, we were talking about our superpowers, and she said, my superpower is I have 5 kids and they all moved out of the house and none of them ever came back. I said, that is a superhero or a superpower.
It truly is.
So you guys, whenever we have this awareness, and typically, right, we're a success club. We're talking about the things that we need to shift in our mindset to be successful and to have what we want in life, right? So typically, when we're shifting our mindset, it's going from the mundane, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, to what it takes to have success. So utilizing a principle like looking back and proving to yourself that you have been successful. So if you've been successful in the past, does that mean you can be successful in the future?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you haven't been successful at what you're doing yet, why not? It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time, right? Because when you started kindergarten, were you like, oh, I'm never going to graduate kindergarten? Or did your teacher say, kindergarten's 9 months long? Give yourself a break. Wait 9 months, and then you can celebrate that you graduated kindergarten, right? It's all perspective. So now we're consciously making an effort to become competent in our understanding of past success. And therefore, once we prove that, now it's easier to believe we get future success. Are you guys tracking with me? Isn't this yummy? Because you guys, is it simple? Right? So often people go, oh, it's so hard. It's hard to shift my mindset. It's hard to do this. It's hard to do that.
It's not easy.
But is it simple? Right? It might not be easy right off the bat, but it's simple. A simple concept of, I don't know what I don't know. Something bumps me. I'm aware now of what I don't know. I look at what I'm saying to myself, i.e., I'm never going to be successful. I look back, I recognize I have been successful my whole life, and now I can transfer that past success, the energy of the past success, and throw it into my future success. That's simple concept. Do we have to practice it a little bit? Yeah. Sometimes might we still go down the spiral? Yeah. And then we call somebody in this group and go, remind me that this is simple and it's just a matter of time. Hooray! Show up back here. Hooray! Show up at a mastermind. Hooray! Right? There's opportunity for you to get back in the energy of knowing that this is very simple. And is it okay sometimes if we spiral? Yes. I just want to remind you guys, it's okay sometimes if you spiral.
For me, when I spiral backwards sometimes, it reminds me again how come I don't want to be there.
That's awesome. Sometimes we need to be reminded. Sometimes we're negatively motivated, right? Like
we
we
don't
see.
fall as far.
We
Right.
say that,
We don't fall as far.
and we don't fall as far. We can never actually fall
Or
back
stay down as long.
or stay down as long, for sure. Yes, ma'am.
So what if you work in a profession where you're doing something that, like, you're playing a video game, and you believe in yourself for success, and you know it's coming, but there's a barrier there, and whatever barrier won't let you be successful. It will not budge. Whether that barrier is racial, or that barrier is segment, or whatever.
Okay, cool. So this is a really cool question, and it's got a little bit of a deeper answer. So I'm going to cover it briefly, just for the sake of not going in deeper than we can on this particular evening. Okay, so the question was, what if you're in a profession, you see your success, you feel your success, you know it's coming, but there's a barrier, and that barrier just will not budge, and it won't budge, and it's not gonna budge. It's only a barrier if you believe it's a barrier. Yeah! Swear to God. Swear to God on my life, the life of all my children. It is the nature of the universe. Because if there was a barrier that would block me from having what I wanted, it would mean that I'm not the creator of my own reality. And then I would cease to exist. Because I am the creator of my own reality. I'm not subject to anything outside of myself. And in order for those two things to be true, then there can't be a barrier that gets in my way that I can't overcome. We have to decide that that barrier isn't real. We have to convince ourselves.
What about, for example, like 50 years ago, women could not literally work in some professions? Like they literally, you could try to be successful in them, but like society was like, not allowed it.
And then there was one that did. And then what happened after the one that did?
Yeah,
Because it wasn't that they couldn't, it was that somebody didn't try hard enough, long enough for somebody to say yes. And then one person said yes, and then look at what happened. Everything changed. Now there's women in every profession, I think.
Then they let
Right?
it go.
But somebody had to start. It's exactly like, and I don't know the dude's name, so if anybody knows the dude's name, yell it out. We were told that the human body could not run, are you tracking with me? Could not run a 5-minute mile. We were, it's less than 4?
It's less than 4 now.
Okay, we were told, we were all convinced that the human body could not run a 4-minute mile. Does anybody know his name? The dude. The dude that ran a 4-minute mile. And then guess what happened? A gazillion other people did it. Right? Why? Because he gave us a taste of belief in the capability that we have even in the human body. So there's a dude, he's called the Iceman. Okay, we're Googling it right now. We're Googling it. Okay, so until then, I want to tell you about the Iceman. So the Iceman is this dude that swims in the Arctic in swim shorts. That's all, swim shorts. He ran through the desert for 2 days with no water, and he ends up after his 2 days, and he's like, hey, I'm great, what up? Because he has trained his body to not be subject to even the weather. Did you guys get that? We are not subject to anything outside of ourselves.
Got the name. Roger Bannister.
Roger Bannister. Yeah.
Roger Bannister.
Bam. Woo! So the only limitations that we have is our beliefs. Which is why aren't we grateful when we get bumped up against somebody again and we recognize what beliefs are inside of us so that we can shift them so then we can start attracting what we really desire in our life. Woo! Right? So we go from conscious incompetence, right, to, oh, I didn't know that. Something wackadoo happened to our screen. Sorry.
It just timed out.
We're waiting. Yeah, but that shouldn't have. Because it's a Zoom thing. Anyway.
Is it a business account? Is it only
Yeah.
go to 30?
No, I signed in with my business account. Okay, we'll have to look at that. Sorry, had a little pause. So now I'm consciously making an effort to, and you guys know I don't love the word effort, but I'm constantly making choices that say I am going to shift that mindset. Every time I think about I'm not successful, I'm going to stop and I'm going to look back and I'm going to remember so that I can throw that energy into my future success, right? And the more I do that and the more I do that and the more I do that, now I become consciously or unconsciously competent. Now I'm just successful by no fault of my own, except for the fact that I did the work before to shift it from my conscious mind to my unconscious mind. I shifted it from a thought to a belief. Because once we shift it from a thought to a belief, you guys, it has to attract what's around me because it is my subconscious beliefs that are attracting my world. So it can't not attract everything around me or what I desire, right? Do you guys get that? Do you get how cool this is? Do you have any excuse not to have everything you desire? Is it a matter of time? Sometimes it takes us a while to transfer from the conscious thought to the unconscious belief. Is that okay? Yeah, we've had these patterns for a long time. And sometimes it takes longer to shift them. Is that okay? It's totally okay. But guess what? I'll tell you, the more you're around people who believe big, right? Just like Roger Bannister, right? The more we watched him do it, and the more people experienced him doing it, and the more times he did it, and the more people talked about it, the more people did it. And the more people who did it, the more people who did it. Do you get that? Because belief is caught. We get to catch belief from other people. Isn't that yummy? So who are you hanging out with? Who are you immersing yourself with? Are you showing up in places that fuel your belief? Or, and I apologize, this is one of my soapboxes. Or do you go home every night and watch the news? Right? Because I guarantee you that's not going to fuel your belief in your success. I guarantee you. right? So do you have friends that you can call up and say, remind me that this is simple. Remind me it's just a matter of time. Remind me about that dude that ran the 4-minute mile and that I can do that if I really wanted to. Remind me of the people in my industry who have done what I want to do. Remind me that I'm no different than anyone else. I just might have to try a little bit harder, you know, do it a little bit longer, because maybe I have to shift things that that person didn't have to shift. But if I shift it, can it not show up? Right? No. It has to show up. It has to show up because my subconscious beliefs are what's making it show up, because that is the law of attraction. And this is where we get jacked up, you guys. We think we believe something that we only think. And there's, you know, the tagline out there that says thoughts are things. Unfortunately, they left out a word. Subconscious thoughts are things. Conscious thoughts aren't things. But can we program our subconscious thoughts through our conscious thoughts? Yes, as long as we connect it with the energy of belief, right? Which is why sometimes we have to see the witnesses, if you will, the other people that have done it, the people who are willing to remind us, right? When we look back and say, well, I did this in school, or I did that in track, or I did this in my family, or whatever. When we surround ourselves with the belief of success, and again, we throw that in the energy of our future success. Isn't that groovy, you guys? How freaking powerful are you? How crazy, over the top, powerful are you that nothing can stand in your way except for you?
And the more you attribute it to one thing in your life, the easier it is to attribute it to another thing in your life. And
yes.
Another thing. Finances, business, success, children.
Yes.
Anything.
So for anyone on the screen or on here who didn't hear what she was saying, and once you apply these things to one part of your life, then it's easier to apply it to another part of your life. Why? Because now the neural pathways to how to do this, and belief system, and knowing that you're capable, and knowing that you can shift your own mindset to create something is easier, right? It happens faster, it happens easier. And the more we do it, the faster it goes. And the more we do it, the more we believe, and the more we do it, right? But it's like a locomotive. When a locomotive starts, it's like, right? And it's woo, right? But it might take a little bit more effort to get that momentum started. But once the momentum starts, it's effortless. Who wants an effortless success? Woo!
Yeah.
Me too. Right?
Who's had it?
Woo! Right? Good stuff, you guys. So thanks for joining us. I hope that was a blessing to you. Again, if you want to join our private Facebook group to get more of this yumminess and you're a girl, just look for, is it We Thrive Boise private group? We Thrive Boise private group. We would love to invite you into our space. Thanks for being here.